If you think about the dawn of human history, what comes to mind? Perhaps images of hairy, uncivilized men and women scrounging for food and living in rudimentary caves. Well, this is a common misconception about the Stone Age, a period covering over 3 million years of human history. Long before the first civilizations, long before writing, roads, or kings, humanity endured an age of raw survival and quiet brilliance. It is true that the Stone Age saw its share of struggles, but it was also a time when humans laid the very foundations of what we are today, from our relationship with fire to the birth of farming. So join us as we embark on a journey back in time to uncover the truth about the Stone Age. We will start with the which means Old Stone Age, spanning from roughly 2.6 million years ago to around 12,000 years ago. Life during this time was undeniably tough. Picture vast, untamed landscapes, dangerous animals roaming freely, and the constant threat of starvation. Our ancestors, including early species of Homo, were nomadic, traveling in small groups, surviving by hunting wild animals and gathering plants and fruits. But amidst this struggle, something extraordinary emerged: the development of stone tools. Initially, these tools were simple, large stones that had been chipped into rough shapes. But over time, the techniques improved. By the late Paleolithic, humans could produce intricate tools like spear points and knives with razor. The significance of these tools went beyond mere functionality. They reflected the growing intelligence and adaptability of humans. As tool-making progressed, so did the skills of the user. It showcased a developing understanding of the properties of materials, geometry, and each strike of the hammerstone was a testament to the evolving human brain, demonstrating an ability to plan, to innovate, and to adapt. But the story of the Stone Age is not just about tools. It's also about our mastery over fire. Early humans first used fire after it occurred naturally, utilizing it for warmth and protection against predators. But learning to control and create fire was a pivotal moment. This ability set humans apart, allowing us to cook food, altering our diet and making it easier to digest. Cooking also enhanced the taste of food and provided safety against harmful bacteria. Fireplaces found at Paleolithic sites provide evidence of this control, indicating that fire was not just a source of immediate need, but a constant companion. Around campfires, early humans shared stories, strengthening bonds and passing down knowledge. The flickering flames illuminated not just their but their social interactions, creating an intimate atmosphere that fostered community. And then there's the cave paintings. These masterpieces, many of which are still visible today, serve as a portal into the minds of our ancestors, depicting animals, geometric patterns, and abstract symbols. These paintings are more than just artistic expression. They reveal a complex symbolic system and a capacity for abstract thought. The most famous examples, like those found in France's Lascaux cave, showcase incredible detail and realism. Imagine standing in the dimly lit cave, brush in hand, and recreating the movements of a charging bison or a leaping deer. These weren't just idle drawings. They represented a deep connection with the natural world, possibly reflecting memories of hunts, fears of predators, or even rituals. Cave paintings are a silent testament to the creativity and ingenuity of our ancestors. They demonstrate a society that appreciated aesthetics, had a sense of humor, and understood the power of visual communication. The very act of planning such artwork required cooperation, indicating a level of social organization and community engagement that challenges the notion of a simple, unorganized Stone Age existence. During this time, music also found its place. Flutes carved from animal bones, drums made from animal skins stretched over wooden frames. These instruments may seem rudimentary to us, but to our ancestors, they were portals to emotions, to rituals, to shared experiences. Imagine the haunting melody of a bone flute echoing through a prehistoric landscape, or the rhythmic pulse of a drum uniting a group in dance and song. Such soundscapes would have been integral to daily life, accompanying everything from celebrations to mourning rituals. The picture of the Stone Age that emerges from all of this is not of a primitive, uncivilized era, but of a time of creativity and community. Sure, it was tough, it was dangerous, but it was also a time when humans took the first steps towards civilization, laying the groundwork for everything that followed. Now let's shift gears slightly and talk about the Mesolithic period, which bridges the gap between the Paleolithic and Neolithic. This era marked a transitional phase, a time when the climate began to warm and the ice sheets retreated, leading to significant environmental changes. During this period, which lasted from about 12,000 to 8,000 years ago, humans continued to exploit the resources of both the sea and the land. This diversification of food sources led to the development of smaller, more specialized tools. For example, fish hooks and harpoons became more prevalent along coastal regions, while microliths, tiny sharp flakes used in composite tools, were employed for tasks requiring precision. These advancements indicate an increasing sophistication in technology driven by the need to adapt to a changing environment. Another notable feature of the Mesolithic was the emergence of new social structures. Human populations grew, and as bands moved and interacted, cultural exchanges took place. This period also witnessed the beginnings of settled life in some regions. While full-fledged villages were still a way off, Mesolithic humans started spending more time in one place, building semi-permanent shelters and taking advantage of the resources around them. Finally, it's time to explore the Neolithic period, also known as the New Stone Age, which lasted from around 8,000 to 2,000 years ago. This era marked a significant turning point in human history. The advent of agriculture, with the domestication of plants and animals, humans transitioned from being nomadic food foragers to having a more settled lifestyle. This revolution not only provided a reliable food source, but also led to the accumulation of food surplus. As a result, Neolithic communities could support larger populations and begin to develop specialized roles within their societies. This era also saw the rise of pottery. Initially, it started as simple utilitarian vessels for cooking and storage. However, over time, Neolithic potters began experimenting with decorative patterns and styles, reflecting a growing aesthetic sensibility. Pottery kilns found at archaeological sites provide insights into the techniques used and the firing temperatures achieved, showcasing an understanding of material science that belied the simplicity of the era. Trade networks also started to form during the Neolithic, linking distant communities through the exchange of goods. This exchange wasn't limited to necessities. Items like polished stone axes, which likely had both practical and ceremonial uses, were transported over considerable distances. The presence of such objects in various Neolithic settlements suggests a level of interconnectedness that challenged the image of isolated, self-sufficient communities. While agriculture brought stability, it also introduced new challenges. For instance, the concentration of people in settled communities led to closer proximity between humans and domesticated animals, creating opportunities for diseases to spread. Additionally, the ownership of land and resources became a potential source of conflict as the surplus of food and other resources facilitated the emergence of social hierarchy. The Neolithic also saw the construction of more substantial and permanent dwellings. Early houses were typically constructed from mud brick or wood, sometimes featuring rooftop entrances instead of doors. Over time, more durable materials like stone were used, reflecting an increase in technical skill and a growing desire for permanence. In fact, burial practices provide a striking illustration of the values and beliefs of Neolithic societies, instead of the more rudimentary burials of earlier periods. The Neolithic saw the construction of elaborate tombs, sometimes with multiple chambers and passageways. These tombs were often richly furnished with grave goods, including jewelry, ornaments, and even chariots. Such practices reveal a deep concern for the dead and a growing complexity in religious beliefs. The legacy of the Stone Age is profound. It represents an era of remarkable adaptation, innovation, and societal development. Despite the hardships, our ancestors not only survived but thrived, mastering essential technologies, shaping their environments, and leaving behind a rich cultural heritage. Their story is a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the human spirit. If you want to learn more about ancient history, check out our video on the Bronze Age, and don't forget to subscribe for more exciting journeys through time.